Hey everybody, today we are going to be talking about the Apple Vision Pro. I know a little bit weird to be talking about on a crypto channel, but I think based on the questions I've been getting in my community and been seeing around Discords that I'm involved in, it's worth answering and worth talking about. A lot of people are wondering how this might impact 2024, looking at narratives heading into 2025. Do people see this as being a major revolution or not? And I figured we should talk about it. Why not just address it all in one big video? That being said, I'm Aussie. This is my channel all about crypto, airdrops, and just killing it in the 2025 crypto bull run. If you like the kind of this kind of content, please consider dropping a like and a subscribe. It really means a lot. But let's explore. This isn't really financial advice. This is just me expressing my opinion on this. And so if you feel differently, please let me know in the comments. If you think I missed something, please let me know in the comments. I would love to have this discussion and maybe be proven wrong. The question is, does the Apple Vision Pros revive the Metaverse narrative in the 2024-2025 bull run? If you were around in the previous cycle, Metaverse was a major topic with Sandbox, Mana, Gala, Render, a whole slew of different tokens taking off based on that Metaverse narrative. However, the hype died heading into 2021, the end of 2021 and 2022. If we look at the current discussions, most people are not focused on the Metaverse. You don't see a lot of new Metaverse projects launching. Generally, the ones that do, the few that are launching don't get a lot of attention. When you look at crypto influencers, most of them are talking about AI, GameFi. GameFi is one of those few narratives that's still playing into 2024, 2025 from 2021. But Metaverse isn't really discussion. Really, AI, GameFi, RWA, L2s, and airdrops a little bit. So, does the Apple Vision Pro change that? I think it partially changes it. I don't think I'm convinced that we will see a whole major pivot, but could it get the conversation going? Maybe have a smaller bull run related to Metaverse and a smaller kind of subset of tokens around the Metaverse, but not the same widespread discussion of the Metaverse. And I think that's for two reasons, really. The first reason has to do with the Apple Vision Pros themselves. If you look at them, they are more enhanced reality rather than virtual reality. And that, if you don't know a lot about AR, VR technology, that's a pretty big difference. Enhanced reality is you can get overlays of cool skins or have your NFTs displayed on the wall or feel like you're walking a dog. There's not a whole submersive world. Still really in reality, but it's just artificially enhanced. And I've seen some pretty cool so artificial or advanced reality. There were necklaces that were being sold at NFT NYC in 2022, and those necklaces, 2022, 2023, they, when plugged with AR, were would create these awesome patterns on your skin, and you would look really cool. But overall, you weren't changing your reality completely. You weren't being submersed in a metaverse. There was a lot of dress shoppers there was a really cool talk around dresses and clothing and luxury goods at the conference as well. And in those discussions, they were talking about you being able to try on your NFT dresses. There was a designer who designed NFTs that were dresses and other clothes. And with AR technology, you could see yourself wearing those different clothing. Pretty cool. But again, not complete VR, complete submersion in VR. And that's what the Metaverse requires. You need to be able to be completely, basically immersed in it rather than have small portions of your reality distorted or changed. So that's part one. The other thing is there's still not a lot of apps or compatibility with the Apple Vision Pro with a ton of other apps. I've seen a couple of integrations that are coming, but none that are what I would say strong or really fully immersive yet fully integrated. And this also makes me a little bit feel like it's less likely that we see a huge metaverse push in 2024, 2025, because the tech isn't there yet. And then the last one that I think about when talking about the Apple Vision Pros themselves is you're just not seeing Apple isn't fully AI and kind of crypto integrated yet. If you think about the Apple Vision Pros, and Apple still has fights and arguments about allowing crypto apps within their store. So considering that the Apple Vision Pro are an Apple product, you gotta wait until we see a change in stance from Apple to allow crypto and to allow that integration, because if you don't have that integration, then you can't have a metaverse narrative. Now on to part 2, talking about the metaverse narrative itself and talking about whether I see some of these projects taking off. Thinking about it, I think a lot of them are still in a development stage. If you look at some projects that were launched in 2021, 2022, they're still slowly building. They haven't fully achieved their product yet. Thinking about Pavia, Sandbox, you don't have the full immersion yet. Their metaverse isn't necessarily ready for you to be wearing VR glasses and working in. A lot of the visuals are still not there. I've heard that it can be pretty clunky sometimes. You need a lot of processing speed to really be able to feel and immerse yourself. And so without that kind of product or leader that's really able to use the tech and be able to be felt, you also don't have a major reason to have that hype yet. If we were to see one of these projects that from 2020, 2021 that were doing metaverse come out with a fully ready metaverse, you could, with integration for Oculus and Apple Vision Pro and all of that, then maybe you could really see, I could see that working if both the tech and the metaverse itself are both ready. If they're both able to be used simultaneously and comfortably, then we could see the metaverse narrative return. My caveat to this is maybe there's enough hype about the Apple Vision Pros. The fact that I've had this many different conversations about the Apple Vision Pros with different people, all asking whether or not I think it will bring back the metaverse narrative, maybe just that subconscious discussion will do that. Maybe it will revive that metaverse narrative. I am not a mind reader, but I could see it as being something that enough influencers start latching onto as an easy discussion point because of the Apple Vision Pros, that they create a metaverse narrative. They start getting people hyped about the metaverse and about the Apple Vision Pros, and that could, even though the tech isn't ready, create its own mini cycle for the metaverse. The metaverse wasn't ready last cycle, but everyone got very hyped about it. So why could that not happen again? Thinking about how narratives sometimes repeat themselves, although they never rhyme. GameFi had a very early, immature stage last bull market, and now we're having a bit more of a mature market for the GameFi this market, and people are talking about it. People are very excited about it. We're seeing AAA games or games that are fun emerge. Shrap has done a couple of play tests, and people are quite excited about it. That's one game, but I mean, there are so many others. And so we're actually starting to see quality GameFi games. And as I said before, if we start seeing maybe some quality metaverse projects, then that narrative could totally return. I don't see a reason why it couldn't. That being said, I don't have any metaverse plays that I'm super bullish on right now. I know that several of them are still building. I know Sandbox, Mana, Pavia, Cornucopia, there are probably more, are still building, but I don't know what level of readiness they are for someone to be fully immersed in the metaverse. It has drummed up my interest though, and so I will be diving into the metaverse and into how these different projects are doing, because being early to a narrative is sometimes the best thing, because being early means you can catch the full hype. That's as long as you're willing to wait. You've got to be patient. I don't know if that narrative will take off, and I don't know when it will take off. If it does, you've got to be willing to play your cards, sit on your hands a little bit, and just watch. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to start doing some research, start looking into projects, and maybe start positioning myself a little bit. Because if the Apple Visions Pro do catch on in the general public, a lot of people start using them and enjoying them, then there isn't really a reason why we couldn't see the Apple Vision Pro and the metaverse narrative take off in 2024 or 2025. That being said, I'm no expert, and I will be doing my research, just like I suggest you do. I will potentially share any metaverse plays that I've got in my mind, but I would love if you've got any metaverse plays that you are watching, please drop them in the comments. I would love to see what you're watching so that I can go do some research on them and dive into it. Tell me which metaverse project you're most bullish on. I would love to hear that. That wraps it up for this video. Please drop a like, a subscribe, a share, and let me know what you guys feel in regards to the Apple Vision Pros and the metaverse narrative in the comments, and I will check in with you guys again next week. Don't forget to check out my free Discord community. We're talking all about airdrops, crypto, and everything around that, so go check that out, and see you next time.